Bunnycast number 44. We're back! Recorded on May 7th, 2011. Hey guys, have you heard of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic?
Oh God, no!
I used to wonder what friendship could be. Until you all shared its magic with me.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bunnycast. Yes, we are back. I did promise that it was only temporary while we got some new equipment, and yes, I have the new equipment. Okay,
Yay.
so you can hear me. My name is Dame Helen the LeatherClad. We have with us for the first time in a very long time, one of the original Bunnycasters, if not the original, Lord Killerfish.
Suddenly he turned into Bob Hawke then.
Yes. And you can also hear with us Squato. Say hi, Squato. He truly hates me. He truly hates me. Okay,
I'm
stop
ringing my bell and
There's also with us Sir MDM The Persistent.
Eating a hamburger.
Alrighty, the podcast is the official podcast of the Bunny community. The Bunny community is centered around Elguna Shive.
not the unofficial one, which is not us.
Well,
and doesn't exist.
The what? Huh? We
causing me headaches.
We are the official podcast of the Bunny community. The Bunny community is the official community of the webcomic Elguna Shive, but we are not the official podcast of Elguna Shive.
That's what I said. We're not the unofficial podcast for the Bunny community. That's called the Bunnycast. That was my joke.
You were confused.
It's not funny if I explain it.
Keep the faith, Squato. Keep the faith.
5 a.m.
Elguna Shive is a webcomic by Dan Shive, who was inspired to name it such by
the Shive, remember?
Yes, by a throwaway line from The Simpsons. There's only ever been
go with his hip hop name. It's D Shiv, apparently.
There's only ever been one goon in the comic in its entire run. Yes, that's enough. Shut up. The Bunnies are fans of Elguna Shive. That's a long story. And there are 3 places the Bunnies congregate on the interwebs. We have 910CMX community forums. Go to community.910cmx.com. There's the Mayhem forums. Let's see, that was forums.keenspot.com, and then you look for Mayhem. And then there's Shastrix, www.shastrix.com/Bunnycast, and there's also the forums there for the Bunnycast itself.
There's also apparently one site where a lot of people are seen to be conjugating around nowadays, apparently a lot of the older ones. It's for... I actually got to get the name of the damn comic again.
Is it legal to conjugate in public?
Yes.
Only if you conjugate with me.
Hey.
Okay, so...
MS Paint Adventures, because this is what a couple of the people have been saying, is that that's, if you want to try and find some of the older ones, that seems to be where they're going nowadays.
Weird. That's okay.
They wanted that pointed out.
Hey, that's fine. And that's also where you can find a lot of people who watch My Little Pony, the Brony community.
Noises!
Let's move on to some forum news.
I have to say the show itself, I actually do enjoy it. Some of the fans, they fear me. Sorry, I'm afraid of them, very much so. If you don't know why,
join us.
Please.
We're all friendly. We have cake.
Of course we have cake. We also have marshmallows and s'mores, and there's
ice cream.
Yeah, there's ice cream there too. So in the main 910CMX forums, EGS general discussion, the leading forum topic for the day is what would you do if you had a TF gun? We have actually gone over this question on the show. I can't remember if it's like episode 5 or something. It was one of the early episodes.
It's the one filled with evil laughter.
Yes, lots and lots of it. But if you want to pitch in your opinion, go ahead and go there. Again, Elguna Shive Forums, EGS General Discussion. We also have on the Art Gallery Forums a bunny named Dan Knight, so not to be confused with Dan Shive.
Yes, because all people named Dan must be related to Dan Shive.
If you
Even
poke,
Dan
It's the
Brown.
law.
if you poke your head into Dan's sketches, there is the very first thing is actually fantastically rendered. Not even a sketch, really. This is a full-on art piece of Susan. So definitely something worth taking a look at there. Only 3 replies so far. So get in, beat the rush.
Get in before lock.
Yes. In the off-topic area, where this may well be buried very quickly, there is a post about a webcomic idea. And they list a premise, and it looks like there's a bunch of edits. So there's the author is very obviously keeping up with what's going on in the forum and making adjustments to the premise as necessary. So it should be interesting to see where that goes.
Can you put the link to that one? I'm so really interested in that one.
See, the direct link is community.910cmx.com/index.php question mark show topic equals 10463. You talking about the chat room, you mean? Alrighty, there's your link.
I'm ready for the
Happiness.
interwebs.
Alright, we have on in the
Tubes
newbie...
are filled with porn and win.
Not necessarily mutually exclusive. We have the newbie intro forum. In the thread topic, I'm a back! A bunny named Randomonium. Looks like there are 910 bunnies, not legacy bunnies, which is cool enough. We got a silly little animated avatar, complete with power armor and a gun, doing a dance. Gotta love that.
It's the female space marine.
Hoorah! Anyways. In the thread, hey ya, there's a bunny named Darius, who has already been tackled glomp, so get in quick to deliver your component of the newbie pack. Featuring a Vorlon as their avatar, there is the new bunny Vorlon agent in the thread Hello Bunnies. So go take a look and say hello.
I'm half curious if people are still keeping the emu alive, because I know that remained alive for a while.
The emu?
With the button tags, I used to give out an emu.
I don't think anyone does that anymore.
Yeah. I gotta get back into giving out leather
I've been
collars.
away from the forums for way too long if that's going
2 years, dude.
on. Wait, I've been gone for 2 years?
Yes.
Whoa. Something really must have hit me hard. Ugh.
It was that blue box.
Oh, man.
Actually, I got a blue police box for my birthday.
Yeah, there's little USB dongles. I want to get one when you plug them in. The TARDIS spins around, and I can't remember if you actually hear the little sound that it makes.
Well, mine's a money box, and so it's got more money on the inside than it does on the outside.
I wish my money box had more money on the inside than on the outside. There is a forum post titled yo with a poll, what are cows? And
Are they cows with guns?
it doesn't say.
If you don't know that song, YouTube that immediately. You'll have some immense amount of fun.
No, I got it. I picked it up.
I'm just saying for those people that don't, because they're like, what? With cows with guns? And then they hear it's a Western one, they're like,
What about chickens with choppers?
get to the chopper.
Get to the job.
And
Get
for
to
our
the job.
Our final newbie intro of the podcast is Black Wolf 359. Didn't we already? Whatever. Forum post titled Sneak, Sneak, Sneak. Which there's only.
If we hear the sneaking, you're doing it wrong.
Yes. You fail at Ninja. Anyways.
You're wearing the wrong sneakers.
Pop in and say hi to the newbies before they stop being newbies.
Actually, if you wanted to joke about with the Governator one, we could joke about the fact that they actually are making a TV show called The Governator.
I know. And
apparently it will be a live-action film as well.
Oh, good heavens.
That noise is my brain just crawling right out the door.
You haven't seen the trailer, have you?
Wait, for
yes,
what?
I have.
Wait, what?
The Governator.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Oh, God. Actually, I think they have that down in the lower... Oh, here. They have actually the thread for that.
I actually watched it and I thought, hang on a second. That just showed that he has 3 kids locked up in a vault in his office.
And for those people who are unaware of it, basically the video is that it shows him as he retires as the Governator and how he's going to put him, because he's now retiring, he's going to make himself basically be doing the normal type of stuff. And then immediately jumps to him being in this secret base under his house where they're planning to watch and protect California. Well, however he pronounces California.
California.
That's it. And they're going to protect it, and then immediately in San Francisco, because it's always San Francisco, giant robots attack. So he gets on his motorbike and rides out to protect San Francisco.
See, here was my first thought when I saw him riding out in his power armor into the streets of San Francisco.
Oh yes, and he has the power armor too.
How would anyone know that he's any different from usual? That's everyday streetwear for San Francisco. And now, a tickle interruption from Freya. Tickle, tickle, tickle! Tickle, tickle! She asked for it. What can I say?
And this is why West Coast superheroes don't succeed very well.
It's so disturbing. West Coast is weird, man.
So, apparently, alright, so, to bring as many of our non-bunnies who may be tuning in to listening as possible...
One other little thing with the Governator thing, people keep on pointing this out. If you look at it, you notice that it was posted on April the 1st. No, it wasn't an April Fool's joke. It actually is real.
I know! It's scary. Okay, so, Elguna Shive is a webcomic. If you start at the beginning of the archives, you'll wonder who the hack is that stole Dan Shive's characters. He does get a lot better as he goes. The main characters that are currently featured in the present story arc are Elliot, Grace,
Greg. Super Grace,
Greg,
Cheerleader,
Cheerleadara,
Justin.
Yes,
that's how
I always prefer to say it as cheerleader. So
yeah, no one seems to actually have a set idea of how it's pronounced. I think that really needs to come to Dan to put on a post somewhere.
Yeah,
how is it pronounced?
How do we say it?
Oh, great! You just scared him away again. No. Okay, so if you happen to be looking at Friday, May 6th comic, you see Grace in one of her transformations. In the next frame,
is it Omega form?
Yeah, it looks like, yeah. And if you need to know what the Omega form is, go back to the archives and start from the beginning, because it's way too long.
Without the horns.
Greg is the next one. He is the anime martial arts sensei. He just closed down his studio, and he's taking on Grace as a private student. But I
love the fact that he closed it down because he didn't think he was actually doing any real martial arts, and then they basically show him in this actually performing real anime-style martial arts.
And one of his students, and it's funny. Irony! So...
Isn't that a type of iron?
All I have to say about today's comic is Epic battle! Perfect time to take an opportunity to show off a
And
couple
we
of...
need to think. However that really goes. If you want to do the insert, I will give you the real one to just shove in there. You only need a 5-second grab anyway.
Oh, where is Zephron with his silly phone doing the sting sound in the end? In any case, this is the kind of humor that really we kind of grew up with the comic expecting. I'm glad that it's not going to be a super serious, mega dark, deep, depressing, lots of nasty revelations going on.
Not going to be grim dark.
You're not saying it right. It's I'm the goddamn Batman.
Goddamn Batman.
Darkshive. From my limited edition series, Justice League of Shive. Buy now and you can't get any other copies of it because I've not made them.
Okay, so creepy guy may or may not be the actual source of the problem. But
Jack?
Grace is the only one capable of taking down creepy guy. And
and people actually got the answer to who is the child left behind too. That was
yes.
Although a lot of people were kind of like, yeah, I kind of suspected it was him.
Yes. Now here's the
Yes,
question.
it's easy to see that after the fact.
Actually, I suspected it was him.
Well, it's like Justin said. Really?
Why? What?
And everything we've just
this
discussed gave no indication to any newbie anything of what's actually going on in the comic. And for that, I do apologize. It really is one of those. It's kind of like Lost. You start in the middle, you're like, huh?
What?
Yeah, exactly.
There's an island with spike monsters and what's the what was one of the other roles played by a bald one? Admiral in Star Trek.
Wait, what?
Moving on.
We're going to
Okay.
go obscure Harsh Realm.
Quickly moving on.
That's an obscure one for people to pick up on.
For those who are unfamiliar with the Bunnycast, we did start out as strictly a hobbyist effort. We are now attempting to move into more serious realms as we attempt to expand our audience and our influence in a cheap and transparent bid to take over the world. So if you would like to keep this podcast as well as the other podcasts on the Bunnycast network going, we would love
donate.
Yes, we would love to receive some donations. At this moment, our websites are presently under construction, and hopefully we will get them up by the end of the month. But in the
If you
meantime,
donate enough, you get an avatar of dancing Killerfish. It will not be pretty.
I'll just have him do the Ronnie Jones butt wiggle, and I'll explain that one at another time. That was for you, Mr. Jones. Anyways, we will be accepting donations through our Bunnycast website, or not website, Bunnycast email address to bunnycast@gmail.com. And again, hopefully soon we will have other ways of accepting donations. But PayPal, that's the one to do for now.
The more you donate, the less we put subliminal messages into these podcasts.
Okay,
Obey.
so let's start off.
Put your sunglasses on now.
Let's move on from the.
It is purpose, Mr. Smith. Wait, no, Mr. Henderson, goddammit.
Shive. Let's just keep going with the bunny meme. Moving on to miscellaneous canoes.
Miscellaneous.
Canoes.
Yes.
Canoes! Miscellaneous canoes!
Miscellaneous canoes.
Motorcycles.
I'm going to have to turn that into a jingle.
Motorcycles.
Canoes. It's all the canoes. It's all the canoes you need. Anyways. Okay.
Thank you for making remember this this poet that was famous for a couple of years ago for these really weird. This is an Australian one. This guy had these really weird poetry that he came out with, and things like, "Kazoo, kazoo, I'm on a canoe," things like that.
It's art!
And why it got popular is that it was weird, and then there was this 6-year-old kid copied it exactly, so they put it onto the show again. It was on look up Red Faces in Australia, and that's where you find it. At least the 6-year-old version. Oh dear God, it was happening.
And this, for all the new people out there, has been your introduction and orientation into the Bunnycast tangents. Enjoy your stay.
This is kind of trippy. I've put on my 3D glasses from my when I went to watch Megamind, and I'm looking at the screen, and it's gone all hazy.
I can
And
see
multicolored.
forever!
I can only imagine this is what like being on a LSD trip is like. Oh, man. Whoa.
Dude!
Just don't let anyone throw pennies at you.
And now...
Opinion.
Oh,
I have
wait, that's
opinion.
my thumbprint. Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Miscellaneous news. Let's start off with something that I think should be obvious, and let's bury it now. Obama's birth certificate. The long form's been released. Let's shut up about it now.
Unless, of course, you're Trump.
Well, Trump's a
And-
birther, and he's an entertainer. This goes back to when we were talking
and his
about...
hair is actually his brain at this point.
Yeah.
Oh god.
He's Mojo Jojo! And makes about as much sense. The whole thing with Trump, and by the way, there's going to be a new show on the Bunnycast wherein my mom and I discuss the politics of the day. We'll be doing a recording of that later on, and we'll start doing live broadcasts when we can do live
One
broadcasts
question
again.
with that, which side of politics will it be actually sort of balanced? And by, I don't mean Fox balanced, I mean sort of like you're going to have multiple views, or you're just
I'm
going
a
to have
conservative, my mom's a liberal.
Okay, fair enough.
That makes for the most epic buddy comedy in the history of ever. One's a conservative,
What?
the other's a liberal. Together,
What?
they fight
No,
crime in
no.
the city of Los Angeles.
You got it wrong. One's a liberal arts major. The other one is the conservative right-wing nutjob. They fight crime together in the streets of Detroit.
That makes
Or wherever.
sense. Anyways. Okay, so...
multi-round nuke launchers for I am a man!
So,
You piece of chance.
the Tea Party is not the obsessives about Obama's birth certificate. We've kind of been waiting with bated breath, because if Obama's birth certificate had shown he was not born in the United States, we would have been all over that like peanut butter and jelly on a nicely toasted piece of bread.
Yeah, but there was more of a fringe element, which was the one that was pulling in the Tea Party movement into that. And
True, but now that there's Obama's long-form birth certificate being released, let's move on to other things. The more important things, like how to get the government from digging more and more money out of our paychecks every single
and there also seem to be
year.
bitching about the Republican, quote, betrayers for not getting their $100 billion tax break. The $100 billion savings for the government. For those people that actually want to check, the real amount of savings that they actually pulled out was more on the line of about $300 million in comparison to the $100 billion that they promised. Although they tell people it was $33 billion, it wasn't.
I haven't kept up on that as well as I should, but again, we'll be discussing that and other things like it on the new show, which will be called From the Left and the Right on the Bunnycast Networks. Stay tuned for that. Squato! Royal Wedding, go!
Actually, I'm not actually talking about the royal wedding, so everyone can go, thank God!
Thank God!
What I'm actually talking about is it was a peripheral thing, it was minor, it was nothing, and then it actually turned into an international incident. You just love when that happens. What it was is that, now, do people recall The Chaser?
No.
The Chaser is an Australian comedy group. They are basically a satirical group. Their motto is striving for mediocrity in a world of excellence.
Oh, yeah, I think you've mentioned them on the show before.
Yeah, I've mentioned it multiple times. For instance, if you want to check up some of the things, the Apex stunt is a perfect example for them. the Apex stunt is that when they had Apex in Sydney, they had the hundreds of millions of dollars being thrown into security and stuff like that. They wanted to take the piss out of it, so they basically set up a fake convoy into the security area, which was basically a limo, a car that was in front of it, and a van, and they had the Canadian flags on top of it, and they had all the security details said fake with people running along the sides. Basically, every single thing that they wanted people to go, oh yeah, this is not real.
False.
Yeah, it actually says on the security details, this is fake, this is a joke, this is not real.
So they basically, the cake is a lie.
Yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, they did that, and they went up to the first security checkpoint, and they're like, oh yeah, people are going to look at this and go, yeah, this is fake. They were let through.
Oh, God.
They went, okay, this is odd, so they kept on going. And then they went up to the second checkpoint. They were let through. At which point they went, okay, this is odd. We should do something to actually let people know this is not real. So they pulled over and opened up the door, and the first guy that was inside stepped out dressed as Osama.
Okay.
What?
They're apparently 10 feet away from where Bush was actually staying at the time.
Oh, dear.
That was their type of level of stunt, and yeah, they tried to charge them for disturbing the peace, embarrassing the government, and all these other little things. And it was
They actually
tried
to charge them for embarrassing the government? That's a crime?
Yeah, they tried to pull up a law, and the reply back from lawyers and the actual government, the judges was...
The government
this was just
being embarrassed?
Well, considering the fact that they were prodding... Well, when that happened, they were saying this was wrong because we've got highly trained snipers around the place, and as soon as they saw Osama, they could have just opened fire on the crowd and killed hundreds of people. And the reply back was, you're talking about highly trained professionals that have worked for years to get their skill level. These people are the best in their job. You're insulting their work by saying that.
Yeah.
It's true. So, yeah, they're famous for that.
Okay, so what did they do about the royal wedding?
Well, with the wedding, basically what they wanted to do was they wanted to do a running commentary of the wedding, and it was basically going to be making fun of the events. Not so much the wedding itself. They didn't want to do anything against the. This is what they've said. They didn't want to do anything against the And yes, and I say they had planned. It was actually shut down before it happened. I'll come to that. But basically, what they wanted to do was they were going to make fun of the royal family or the wedding itself. They wanted to make fun of what was going on around it. For instance, how can I put it? Basically, how you got the media cycle is at the point where this is meant to be a news event, which is promoting the news cycle and promoting their, keeping them in the spotlight. And it only is there purely so that you can get people making money off the poor safety standards that happen in China, and so they can get that type of cheap merchandise thrown out as quick as possible. They basically want to make fun of that. And
you lost me, but that's okay. Keep going.
Yeah, basically that's the type of thing. So that was the plan, and it was only going to be shown in Australia on one of the digital channels. So I don't know amount of people that would have watched it. Now, apparently, the viewership for the royal wedding was 2 to 3 billion. The amount of people that would have been watching this footage would have been maybe 600,000.
2 people.
No, it would have
Only
been
2 people watched the royal wedding. People who are actually participating in it.
Not even Elton John was caring.
Boom. Ouch.
Yes, that Queen's not happy. What basically happened was that was the plan. They were going to make fun of that. It was probably going to get 600,000. They went to the BBC. They said, "Look, this is what we're doing." They didn't. They just wanted the clean feed. They didn't. Which a clean feed is just the video footage, no extra commentary. Right. They went, "Is there any changes besides the fact that there's any additional restrictions besides what's been outlined? And for instance, can you not make fun of it?" And they said, "No, there is no additional restrictions." Okay, then they made the announcement that this is what they were going to do, to which the BBC then went, we don't know. Contacted Clarence House. Yeah, Clarence House. And said, well, are we concerned about this because we feel that this will be making fun of the royal family and will disrupt the view and honour given to the royal family. Afterwards, they then went, royal family has basically, British law says that you're not allowed to do this. Royal family is not happy with it, and you cannot do that. And the reason why they said the British, English law outright blocks it is because apparently in English law, you're not allowed to make fun of the news.
What?
That's actually what they said.
What? That doesn't make sense. We've got tons of programs on TV over here in England, which are constantly making fun of the news. So,
Head of BBC has said that they are not, according to British law, you are not allowed to make fun of the news or any of those other events under British law.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah, their argument is that it dilutes the event, it dilutes the impact, and all this other type of weird stuff.
I think it's something to do with not making fun of the news as it's actually happening. But it's okay to make fun of it retroactively. Because otherwise it wouldn't make sense, because...
Well, they did say that there is an open area for that, but then they also said you're not allowed to make fun of it sort of in general, but you can sort of afterwards, like say, but you can't exactly use the exact footage, you can only use snippets of it, not the... It's weird how they argued it.
I think we just broke him.
Yeah.
So yeah, according to the BBC, that's not funny.
That's not funny!
Stop being
No,
mean to me!
You're doing it wrong. That is
Now
not funny at all. You should not have to put up with this sort of behaviour, and it is not appropriate for this situation.
Now recall the Monty Python one. Stop laughing.
Stop it! You're just being far too silly!
So yes, you're not allowed to make fun of things in England because it's not funny.
Oh dear. Okay.
Well done, BBC. So yeah, that got shut down, and they said the arguments for was that they weren't going to be making fun of the event. They weren't going to be making fun of the royal family, and even if they were going to be doing any blue humour, it was all humour which was already been done by Prince Philip anyway. Well, minus the racial undertones.
Hey,
Okay.
racial undertones. Wait. No.
Killerfish!
For those that are interested, yes, he actually, when he went into India, he was talking about Indians, and he was referring to Indians as darkies. In India.
Yeah,
Lynch mob.
yeah. We give Prince Philip a little latitude. You can understand.
He's old, he's Greek, he's weird.
Yes.
Oh, and he looks like a mummified zombie too.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on! Killerfish, save us from this.
Right, I'm here to discuss the re-release of Doctor Who. Hooray! It's a new series. Hooray! It's got the new Doctor. Oh, okay.
Hey!
One who's only 2 years older than me.
Hey, he's
Yay!
cool.
And he's actually pretty good in the role. Hooray!
What's his name, Matt Smith?
Yeah, that's Biff.
Matt Smith is cool now.
Matt Smith.
Matt
He's
Smith. Because
he's
racism.
Because
I was going to say. Sorry. I was going to say, he's probably the fastest person to have ever nailed the character of the Doctor straight away. And if you want, look at his very first episode. Particularly when he comes out, I'm the Doctor. Basically, run. Or the other line I like for this that's coming up, where the guy's like, where he basically...
We do this as a double act.
Go, you do the first line.
Clearly, I killed hundreds of Time Lords.
Being me, I've killed them all.
Meh.
He
Would
delivers
it work better if we swap voices?
Watch it on the trailer. It's awesome, that line.
I forget. When did the 10th Doctor get replaced to the 11th?
He got replaced, not last year, but the year before.
Don't watch the episode where he's replaced. Just think of a better way that they could have replaced it if you want.
Yes. David Tennant tripped over a brick, and he had to regenerate. That's my own personal theory.
And when he did it, he danced around celebrating the fact that he was actually going to be something different. He was going to make himself a better person.
Yes. and there was no angsting at all, and there was no whiny or saying goodbye to all the other characters we got to know.
I don't want to go!
I don't want to go.
And there's no 30 minutes of wankery by the director / scriptwriter faced into the production just because of the fact that he can do that.
Yeah, I actually skipped that just because I did a little spoiler reading just to say, okay, what does happen? Because I can't get this on Netflix yet, so I read up and what the hell is this? Every single other regeneration, it's like he's dying, boom, regenerate, and it's done. This is like, I'm regenerating.
It's got to be the one with the knife, which was he simply smiled. He went, he simply just smiled, said something nice, and then came back in, and that was brilliant. That's how they should have done it.
I think what it was, what the exact line was, you were brilliant, and you know what? So was I. And then he regenerates. Right, what was I saying? Oh yes, Barcelona. That was the introduction of the tent.
Yeah, that was pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
What the Alright.
Okay.
I think the only part that I liked about the regeneration of the Templars in the 11 is there's a brief moment where the Doctor is a bit confused and is concerned he might have accidentally regenerated into a woman.
And then he was unhappy about the fact he wasn't a redhead.
But he's always unhappy about that.
Still not a ginger.
Still not ginger. Let's see, legs. Legs, I love legs.
Fingers. Oh, that's good. Okay.
There was something else. What was I forgetting? Oh yes, I'm crashing.
Geronimo!
But yeah, new series of Doctor Who, and at the beginning of the series, I'm not going to spoil anything, the Doctor died.
Surprisingly enough, no, that doesn't spoil a damn thing.
Because it was a future Doctor.
Actually, I did love the way that Matt Smith played that, because he basically played someone that is really, really, really old, who has seen a lot of things in their life. And although they're a young man, they're tired of it all. They've still got that energy to do better things, to do more out there, but they're tired. He nailed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a good actor, but then again, there is the obvious fact. He's only 2 years older than me! Sorry, I'm a bit salty.
Well, did you want him to be a 6-year-old girl?
That would have been a change.
Minor spoilers there. Although, you know what I will have to say with the enemy? I really like what they did with that new enemy.
That was good.
And it could the silence. And silence shall fall.
Are we going to just spoil the whole episode?
We spoil everything anyway, so.
Yeah, we did. Okay, so,
You should kill every one of us, you see. There we go, spoiled it. But feel free to bleep that out if you think it spoils it too much.
Actually, I love the fact that there actually has been a bit of controversy with that, because it has the image that the Doctor is a genocidal maniac that actually will be happy to kill race when they cross him too much. You do recall he actually ended the Time War by basically destroying everything in the universe at that stage?
yeah,
He's
twice!
He did try to kill all the Daleks. He is a genocidal...
3 times!
This single person is the bloodiest hero, or if you want, anti-hero in a sense, in all of character history. There is no person in history who has more blood, and I don't mean just the fact he's killed him, well, not so much killed himself, but or indirectly. I mean in times when he's basically even shut down possibilities, the never-weres, the could-have-beens, all of those. He has done that.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, he always gives them a chance. And when they don't take the chance, he's all, your choice! Bye-bye! So, okay, MDM.
Yes.
I know you're going to love this one. talk about a major news death that's happened recently.
We lost Sarah Jane!
No. Say that again, MDM.
Osama bin Laden?
Yes.
Yeah,
Real one, not the chaser one.
And, apparently what happened is, back in August, President Obama received intelligence that Osama could possibly hiding somewhere in Pakistan. So he authorized, follow-up on it. And because there was a possibility that it was really Osama this time, and that it wasn't just a joke being played on us.
Nor an evil clone.
So basically, a special team was assembled, spent months training for the mission until he came in, and I think it was last Sunday that the president, being at the time, was right to go in and execute the mission. So a team of Navy SEALs was sent in. They enter the compound, and supposedly hiding in, and I think, I'm not sure if it was Osama, but someone decided to hide behind a woman. Osama himself wound up getting shot twice in the face. I think he lost an eye.
Yeah.
Top left,
Yeah.
just above the eye. And that was his wife.
Oh,
So
isn't
he's
he so
hiding
wonderful?
behind his
Well, no, actually, he wasn't hiding behind his wife. She stepped in front of him, but apparently it was one of the people downstairs. It was the woman that who used as the human shield.
And so they had to conduct a DNA test to confirm that it was Osama. And so I remember, I personally was actually lying in bed at the time, reading, I forget what, I think it was one of my Warhammer 40,000 books. My brother comes over to me and says,
Nice book to be reading then.
My brother comes over to me and says, hey, your life dream is now ruined. And I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, Osama was just killed. You can't go with a $25 million bounty anymore. I'm like, what? No, I'm like, wait, what? Really? And then I go and I run over to my parents' room, and they're watching the news. I'm like, holy shit. Really? And my dad's like, yep. So I stayed up till Obama came out and made his address about it, and I just sat there and I watched him like, dude, that is quite possibly the best news you could give in the country at a time like this.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And to punctuate this, there's a joke I heard only this morning. What is the last thing to go through Osama bin Laden's head before he died?
This is probably obvious. Go on.
45 caliber bullets.
Yeah, a little bit obvious. Remember, we are Americans. We have all sorts of gun jokes.
Actually, there's one bit that's not been talked about. Is the fact that with this mission being carried out, it was something which was the fact that they actually went into Pakistan without actually telling anyone. Technically speaking, that can be classed as an act of war.
They were using prototype technology, a special helicopter with new rotor blades. What it was the
and streamlined design too, amongst others.
To reduce noise, what they did was they increased the number of blades on the rotor, so that
and angled them separately.
Blades, so that it wouldn't, provide the typical whoop 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 noise. But this had the side effect of decreasing lift, and that's why there was a malfunction on one of them.
Mm.
So yeah.
See, if I was tasked to reduce the noise of a helicopter, I would have tied pillows to the blades.
I don't think that would work.
Actually, they probably would have tried something similar to that. Considering some of the crazy ideas they came up with during the Cold War.
Yeah, there is
Jedi
that.
Mind Soldiers, for example.
Well, okay, so thank you for covering that, and there are many things I could say to that none of them are probably appropriate for all audiences.
The only thing I can say is we'll see what the long-term implication is for that.
Yes. So, we have had a good, let's see, what's our time index? Yeah, a good 46 minutes and counting. This is probably a good time to take a little bit of a break, and we'll come back in a little bit. To those listening on the recording, which of course right now is everybody, we'll see you next week. Everybody else, see you in a couple minutes.
At the gala, I will sell them on my apple-tastic treats. Hungry ponies, they will buy them. Caramel apples, apple sweets. And I'll earn a lot of money for the apple family. Dreams and apples from now until hereafter. All that we've been wishing for will happen at the gala. At the gala of the royals, they will meet fair rarity. They will see I'm just as regal at the gala. I will find him, my Prince Charming, and how gallant he will be. He will treat me like a lady